After a steady ride, and Hill's Chaparral finishes out of the points in 7th. Stardust Grand Prix and Can Am title to John Surtees, who averaged almost 110 miles an hour for the race and led it from wire to wire. He wins some $40,000 for less than 2 hours at the wheel.
Well, the race went very well. In fact, it developed a little better than I had hoped it would. Early on, naturally, it was very close, but most of the time, I was able to sort of keep the car well in hand and sort of basically drive as I wanted to, which was the main thing.
John, many competitors in today's race went out with mechanical troubles, suspension problems primarily, and transmission problems. You had none of those troubles, did you?
I don't think so. I had this vibration, but the course is very hard on a car. You have to use the gearbox a lot because you've got a wide variation of corners. You've also got a very rough section on the straight, which tends to give the car a fairly hard time. And so this was to be expected, I think. We tried in practice to do as few laps as possible so that we didn't wear the car out too much.
Mark Donohue, following his third-place finish, barely edged Bruce McLaren for second in the series.
What about the trials and tribulations of running in this tough series? What's the big problem?
Oh, the biggest problem is making sure that you finish the car, but still at the same time running it just about as hard as you possibly can to stay in contention during the race.
Congratulations, Bruce. Third place in the first Canadian-American Challenge Cup Series and second overall in the Stardust Grand Prix. A fine performance for you and your car. Are you pleased?
Well, finishing second at this stage is almost like not finishing at all, Chris. We're not too happy, but that was as good as we could do. The car ran perfectly. I drove it as hard as it could go, and we finished second. Yeah, that's it.
What about the race itself? Did it develop the way you thought it would?
No, not really. I expected more close racing for first place. Surtees got into that lead very early and took advantage, I think, of the little bit of bunching up that we had in the first couple of laps, and he really made a beautiful break. He was going very fast. I expected a few more cars to finish, particularly the Chaparrals. That's unusual for them. And as far as I was concerned, it's about the most hectic race I've ever had.
The Can Am Series was judged an immediate success. In its first year, more than 150,000 people saw the 6 events, and more than $250,000 was awarded. Nor was there a more fitting setting for the finale than the Stardust Grand Prix.
Well, Surtees' timely win at inaugural Can Am Championship got that series off to a spectacular start, and it remained America's premier road racing show for 15 years. Bruce McLaren's Las Vegas disappointment didn't last long. He came back to win the championship himself in '67 and '69. The cars that bear his name claimed 5 straight titles. Bruce died testing a new Can Am car in 1970. I'm Dave Despain. Join us again next week for another edition of The Glory Days.